So we have here Mr. Tim Morris, who is the CEO of Nafems. It's an independent non-profit membership organization that sets maintenance standards in computer-aided engineering. Nafems is the only independent association dedicated to FEA and CFD worldwide. Happy to have you here, Mr. Morris.
Thank you.
All right. So, can you just give us a brief description about what NAFEM does?
Okay, well, Nafems is all about trying to promote the effective use of different simulation techniques like FEA and CFD. We're an independent association. We were set up in the 1980s when FEA was just starting to get used by industry, and all the problems. There's a lot of concern about the problems that might come about from that if it wasn't used in the correct way. So since then and continuing on, we're all about trying to get people to use the technology in the right sort of way, but also to try and encourage them to make better use and further use of the technology.
All right. We are all very excited about the new additive manufacturing technology. So how do you see simulation technology help getting quality control on additive manufacturing?
Well, within the Nafems community, we're seeing a lot of interest as well in additive manufacturing, and the engineers that are involved with simulation are excited about the possibilities that are coming out from it as well. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities in terms of designs that can be optimised in different ways, and things that previously couldn't be manufactured will be able to be made by additive manufacturing. So the two technologies very definitely complement each other. In terms of your question about how the quality control of additive manufacturing might be improved through FEA, well, already we're seeing quite a lot of advanced research going on in terms of people using FEA to simulate additive manufacturing processes themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that, they're able to find out what the limits are in terms of what will and won't work with additive manufacturing. And I think that the ultimate goal is to come up with some guidelines in terms of the limits that can be placed on how additive manufacturing should be used, and that those limits could be defined to a large extent through the use of simulation.
All right. So, I believe you've already seen a lot of things happening in Europe, and do you see some differences here in India that you need to address?
In terms of the use of CAE, we do see some differences between its application here in India and in other parts of the world. Obviously, the use of CAE is very widespread here in India, but to be honest, what we're seeing is that it's perhaps being used largely at a fairly low level. And there's a lot of advanced research going on, don't get me wrong, but in terms of the industrial use, generally we're seeing large batches of engineers that are doing fairly routine work. And perhaps in other parts of the world we'd see them taking a better understanding of what's going on. So what we'd like to encourage engineers here in India to do is to learn more about the overall product development process and how the work that they're doing fits into that, so they've got an understanding of the bigger picture. And then they can help to do a lot more of the engineering as well as the actual handle turning.
All right. So we have seen over here that there are a lot of CAE OEMs that are building up applications or tools to help additive manufacturing. So how is NAFEM helping create such applications which can do a lot of quality control with additive manufacturing?
Well, if you go back to the roots of Nafems, back in the early 80s, I would say that we spent a lot of our time working with the different software vendors, trying to improve the quality control of the software that was available. Because at that time, to be frank, the software wasn't giving very reliable results, and there were errors in the coding. And so we worked with the software vendors to develop a series of benchmark test cases that could be used to check if the software was indeed giving the correct answers. And the software companies actually really welcomed that, because it helped them to iron out the bugs in their software, but also it then gave a measure of comfort to their customers if they're able to say, well, we can successfully complete all the Nafems benchmarks. It gave a lot more trust between them and their customers. And I see no reason why we couldn't do the same in the area of additive manufacturing as the software companies come out with their new techniques.
All right, wonderful. So we have got a lot of more information about what NAFEM is doing. So as the CEO of Nafems, how do you see additive manufacturing changing the industry, the way the producers are made or the prototyping is done? How do you see the change happening?
I think we're already seeing a change in that it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities, and so people can unleash completely different designs and be able to think in completely different ways. And I've already seen engineers coming into the industry now, they're thinking in different ways, and they can do that. And additive manufacturing, from what I can see, seems to be changing at such a rapid pace. but it's also having a huge impact on the overall design process and helping people to think in completely different ways.
All right, it was a pleasure having you here, Mr. Morris, and we hope NAFEM keeps doing the great work it has been doing right now. Thank you so
very
much.
Thank you.